Hi, I'm Jim Mann with Homestyle Southern Cooking. Thanks for having me back in your house today. I'm always trying to update and bring you simpler recipes. Early on when I first started the cooking channel, I brought you a recipe that was a family recipe. I have found another one since that I like much better, and it's so simple. It's such a forgiving recipe, and it's for a pie crust. And I know people, when you say pie crust, people just freak and say, oh, I can't make a pie crust. Well, this dough is so forgiving, I promise you can. Let me show you what I'm gonna do. I've got 3 cups of all-purpose flour right here. I'm gonna put it right in my bowl. 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Then I've got 2 sticks of softly melted butter. That's 1. Chop this up. A butter. Okay, so I've got 3 things, 3 cups of flour and 2 sticks of butter. And then right here I've got a can of evaporated milk, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour that out. It takes 1 cup of evaporated milk, which is almost the whole can, and sometimes before I have used the whole can, but I'm gonna do it exactly to measurements. You have to get in there with it a little bit and just actually mix this butter up with the flour. This, I tell you, I have been making pies like crazy the last couple of weeks. I don't know whether you saw the recipe I did with the mock apple pie from the Depression time. That was done with this recipe. A lot of different pies that I have been showing you that I had the pie crust already ready, they were all done with this recipe. And the reason why I like this recipe is because, like I said, it's so forgiving and so easy to work with. It would have been much better if this butter was a little bit more softer than it was. I thought it was a little bit more softer. So I would have been finished doing this by now. But I just want to work this butter really into this flour as much as I can. So give me a second to get this worked all in here. Okay, I've got this sort of broken up into little small pea-like size pieces, okay? So after I get my butter and my flour all incorporated, I'm going to take my carnation milk here and put a little bit in here and start moving it around. And I put a little bit more. Okay, this is sort of a wet, shaggy type dough, and I've got to get it all incorporated here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of flour. I'm just going to lay it out here. A little more in my hand. And I'm going to actually turn this out to this floured surface. Do it so you can watch what I'm doing here. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it right back in the bowl that I was making it in. I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to press it down in here, just like that. I'm going to cover this with a tea towel, and I'm going to set it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. And then we'll come back and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a pie crust with this. Okay, my pie dough was in the refrigerator for about a half an hour, 45 minutes. I had it covered. And now I'm going to take it out of the bowl. The good thing about this, we only used a small amount of flour. There's enough dough in here, it makes enough dough where you can actually make 2 pies. So I'm going to start off with a small amount of this. And you see it's really hardened up. It's really hardened up, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of flour. Spread a little flour around on my surface here. Take a little bit of flour, put it on my rolling pin, get it ready. Then I will put this into, maybe I'll just get a little bit more of my dough, put it together. And then I'm going to sort of work it around like a disc. Then I'm going to flatten it down. Then I'll start rolling it out. And I want to keep on turning it. I keep on turning to make sure that I have dough underneath this, it won't stick on me. Now I try to keep this as much of a round shape as I can, but it sometimes is not as easy. But the dough is very pliable, so you can just pick it up and move it as much as you want to. I'm gonna put a bit more flour down. It's an incredibly easy dough to work with. So it's, you know, people who worry about, say, I can't make my own pie dough, very simple to do. What I'm going to do now is I've got my pie plate, and I'm going to look and see if that fits, and that's going to be more than enough room to fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my rolling pin, take an end of this, and just roll it onto my rolling pin. Just like that. That's simple. Get a little bit of the flour out of the way, take my plate, and I'm just going to roll it right back here, right back on my plate. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to lift it up so I can push this into my plate. I'm going to go all the way around here, do this, and push this into my plate. Then what I'm going to do is I've got some kitchen scissors, and I'm just going to take the kitchen scissors and go around the outside of this and just cut the outside off. If you notice, I'm leaving a small amount there because that's what I'm going to roll under to make my crust with, the top part of. Okay, after I do this, I'm just going to take what's a little bit longer there. I'm just going to take what's hanging down there, and I'm going to actually take it and roll it up here on the top. And we'll take it and roll it up here on the top like that, okay? Roll it up here on the top. And like I said, this pie dough is so forgiving, there's maybe a little bit much there too. Taking anything that's hanging down there, and all I'm doing is I'm rolling it up on the edge of my pie plate here. Okay, now I've got it pressed all around the edges, and there is my pie shell. Now, fixing the outside, you can do also a creative thing. This is just a zester. You can take like a zester and go along the edge like this of your pie shell. But what I've always done is what I like to do is I just like to take my finger and pinch the pie up just like this. Just make a ruffled pie shell. Just go all around the whole outside of the pie shell. Take one finger, push it in. Take the other two fingers and bring it out. Okay, there we go. And there it is. It's all crimped around the side. And there is my pie shell. now it's ready for me to put whatever I want to. Make an apple pie or a pecan pie. If I wanted to make a pie with a cover, I wouldn't have crimped this. I'll just take some more dough out, roll that out, put my apples in here, and then lay another piece on top of it. But I'm proud to make a custard pie or a pecan pie or something with this later on. So I hope you'll try this dough. It's, like I said, it's really forgiving. It's really easy to work with. And I tell you one thing, if you want to make the best pie tarts, roll this out and get a cutter and cut them in circles. It makes this wonderful dough for making pie tarts with too. So until next time, this is Jim in Mexico. Keep on following me on Facebook and subscribing to YouTube. I'm so glad I got a chance to bring this to you. It's a new recipe I found, and it's now become my go-to recipe. It's so easy to make and so good when you cook it. So it's got that really buttery crust flavor to it that you really want in a pie crust. So until next time, thank you so much for letting me come back into your home. Take care of yourself, and I'll be seeing you soon. God bless.